Okay, perfect. So, here's what we're going to do real quick. Now, as many of you know, I've tried many different YouTube things over the years, and we actually have a new team that is going to be making some new, like, much more YouTube-friendly stuff. So what I'm going to do, and what you're going to see me do more of, is if you're on my normal YouTube channel, cohh.tv/ youtube.com/CohhCarnage, you're not going to see any difference. It's going to be nothing's for you. But what you are going to see me do is every so often during my normal streams, I'm going to basically say and do all the things that those editors need to make those awesome new videos. So what do I mean by that? I mean that they hit me up and they said, hey, you know what? We want to make a video of your top V-Rising tips for new players. And I said, well, I really just kind of want to play V-Rising. And they were like, no. All you have to do is, say what your tips are, talk with your chat about the best ones, and we'll just capture all of that and make a video out of it. And I said, okay, let's do it. That's what we're going to do. So like, I kind of sometimes make videos like this. In fact, I do all the time, but I've never really like given them to a professional team to like turn into a really good video. So we're going to try that with this team and we're going to see how it goes. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. So chat, that being said, we need to come up with the best new player tips for V-Rising. We've talked about this a lot throughout the game, but we'll just kind of start going down them. So we'll do like an intro real quick for them. So it's like, hey guys, Cohh here with a special video for you, this time on some of the best tips that I've had in my multiple playthroughs of V-Rising, which is a game that just recently entered 1.0 and I've really been enjoying. So what we're going to do is, not in any particular order, we're going to go down some of the best tips I would give to new players or players that haven't done it before. So first of all, my top tip is, to start with, V-Rising is a survival, solo, or multiplayer sandbox game. Its meta progression is very similar to Terraria, where there's not a huge amount of story, but there is a giant world to explore. There's bosses, there's tons of text to go through, items to farm. Thank you so much, Greg Chun, and all that fun stuff. So it really offers the player a lot to do, but more importantly, it offers the player a lot to do at once. So sometimes it can get a little bit overwhelming knowing exactly what you need to do and when, and more importantly, what to do at the beginning. So let's go over...
clapping?
God damn it, chat. You know what? Let's disable combos forever. Okay, just turn them off permanently. You have lost the privilege, chat. Congratulations. Combos are off forever. So, on that note, and the beautiful part about these videos is they can just cut all that stuff. That's awesome. I'm so happy I don't have to be one take Tony anymore. Thanks, chat. There we go. Yeah, that alone is awesome. So anyway, let's go back to what we were doing. So, and I'm just gonna leave this fish here, despite you jerks in chat. So, damn. Let's go over the tips. So one of the best early game tips to give to players is to really focus and follow the main quest line. And when I say the main quest line, I should say the only quest line, because that's really all there is to do. And that's up here in the top left. If you are ever wondering, what you should do next in this game, the answer is always on the top left of your screen. Now, you may not always be able to do whatever that thing is. In fact, you may look at your available bosses with the K key, and you may notice that none of the bosses that you have the item you need for your main quest. In those cases, which happen frequently, you will then need to work through the bosses to get down to where you need to go. So for instance, in my current case, these wolves attack me and I have to kill them while I'm talking, which is very awkward. But in my current case, you can see that I have to upgrade my castle heart to level 4. That requires radium ingots, which I don't even have the capability to make yet. I'm not even sure if I have the boss that allows me to unlocked. So that's the kind of thing where you just kind of have to keep working through. There it is right there. So you just have to kind of keep working through the game to get to the point where you can then progress the main quest. But the reason that this is so important is because some of the best and most base functionality in this game is unlocked through the main quest. So if you've ever seen another streamer or one of your friends has done something really cool or has a really cool weapon you've never seen or stuff like that, 90% of the time, it's because they got it somewhere in the main quest or the subsequent bosses that it took to get there. So the first big tip, or I should say, a really big tip for new players, is to make sure you're always following that quest line. Now, another tip that's kind of related to that one, if it comes second in the video, for instance, is do not feel pressured to pick the perfect base location. In V-Rising 1.0, there is an insanely good base moving system that is easy, intuitive, and fast. So, especially at the beginning of the game, as you are working through all of those quests in the top left, many of them which require your base, understand that you can just put your base down wherever, work through all that stuff. You can even build your base out, and later you will be able to easily move it to another location. So what I did, for instance, in my game, is I started my base, I started the game down here, my first base was like here, and then once I got to a point where I was like, okay, I'm ready to start my big build, I decided I'd rather be in a more central location. I dropped my base relocation heart here, and everything from down here got moved right to there easily and intuitively, and I was able to put it all back down. One of the best base relocation mechanics I've ever seen in a game. So keep in mind, burn through that main quest early and move your base later when you want to. The next big tip I would give people is, first of all, always get fish. And this tip is kind of an umbrella tip, because not only do I mean always get fish, because this plays into the jail system later, gets you more resources and all sorts of things, but what I kind of mean by always get fish is kind of the more global statement of always be looting, ABL. And what do I mean by that? There are 3 specific things in this world that you need to keep your eye on. There are harvesting nodes, like the one you just saw, which give you all sorts of great things. There are items in passive, like little boxes and boxes and barrels and all sorts of things. And those you will always want to get. It is very easy in this game to just focus on mobs and not really focus on the ambient loot, but you will get so much more loot in this game if every time you come to a location, you make sure to break down all of these boxes, make sure to open all of the chests, really make sure that everything that can be destroyed in these locations is destroyed. Do that to every location you get to, and you will start passively collecting all of those those just common resources that you're going to need for tons of the stuff you need later in the game. So always collect this stuff, always bring it back, and really kind of focus on
must make room if I want to
getting lots of the common stuff. There's also a lot of mechanics in this game that let you convert lower tier materials to higher tier materials. So if it feels like you're kind of collecting a whole bunch of stuff that you may not need, it does really help to get all that early, so you're not having to go out and get it yourself later. Another great tip is that this game does an excellent job at easily telling you where you need to get resources you need. What you do is open your map, make sure to spend time running around, because not only will you unlock way gates, which allow you to easily travel out from your base, but more importantly, you will uncover these different locations, and just by mousing over them, you can see exactly what you get there. Whenever you go out to get a specific resource, just remember to make sure to get all the other stuff around it too. And as you do that more and more and more, you'll find yourself just having more and more things whenever you need those recipes, and you'll find yourself going out to get more resources less and less and less. Also, as kind of a piggyback on this tip, running around the map early and exploring all of these locations is not only beneficial to item acquisition, but these vampire waygates will save you hours of time as you build one in your base later from doing the main quest. Every time you leave your base to get a boss, you should be using your waygate and going out, and that will save you literally hours of travel time. You'll pretty much always need to run back, because whenever you run back, you'll generally have resources on you that you need to get back to the base. So you will of course still be exploring, but when you're leaving your base, you almost always want to use a teleporter, because you'll never have any items on you that can't be teleported, and it just saves you a huge amount of time. So very cool stuff there. Okay. Another tip is that all the different weapons do different damage types versus different types of things. So if you harvest with a mace, you will do more damage to minerals and you will get more resources faster. This is great when you have to go out and harvest and farm a lot of things. So maces are great against minerals. We have swords, which are great against vegetation. We have spears, which are great against creatures. We have axes that are great against trees. So make sure that you're syncing up your weapon types with your harvesting and resource acquisition to best maximize that. Also, another very good tip to know, your weapons will start with one ability, but as you go up in tiers, they will get more. So make sure to not only test all weapon types at all tiers, but make sure you test all abilities, because there are some weapon types where one ability may make that weapon for you. So keep in mind, there's like, God, 9, 10 different weapon types now. Make sure as you move through the tiers, you're using all the abilities so you can kind of find whichever one works best for you. Cool. Okay. What are some other good tips? I think that that's already going to be like a 10-minute video, possibly. Hey, what's up, Jeremy? How are you? Hey, Jeremy, quick question. What is your role at Stunlock? Somebody asked me yesterday about you. They were like, "Hey, that Jeremy guy, what does he do?" And I was like, "I don't know." But yeah, I know you're a dev, but I'm not sure what your dev class is, I should say. What is your class? There we go. All right. So we got to head back to our base and camp. By the way, for the YouTube guys, I'm the community manager. I'm an American that the Swedes hired to talk to people for them, which is pretty classic for them. Awesome. Great. Hey, Dr. Zins, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Cool. Okay, so wait, Jeremy, you are the NA community manager. So that makes the phenomenal lady I was talking with, is she the EU community manager? Because I thought is she another community manager as well? Hilaire said, so he's not a dev. Brother, if you think community management is not part of being in game development, sir, you have a very stunted definition of game development. I'm sorry. That is, no, yeah, that's just not right. That's the same as saying like the sound guy isn't a game dev. He's not actually making the game, he's just making sounds. No, he's pretty much game dev. Yeah, that's... Relaire says, that's being part of a company, not a developer. Relaire, I am not going to have this conversation with you. Oh, my Lord, Relaire. You need to update your definition, my man. Oh, brother. This is a very large, contentious topic in the game dev community. And game devs will stand behind their company employees and say, we are all game devs because we all make the games possible. So for the love of God, anyone that facilitates the game being released or managed is a game developer. You are developing the game. Do not be that guy, please. Ark says PR people aren't devs. Oh my God. All right, you know what? Nope. Not doing it. Nope. It's bait. Nope. Not your guy, pal. All right. You think whatever you want. You do you. I would just say my personal opinion is that anyone that facilitates the release or the continued development or playability of a video game is part of that game's development. So that is the hill I will die on. Yep. But you do you. Mm-hmm. Like that. Oh, Jeremy answered about Ruth. Ruth isn't actually a CM, but she works with me on the community team. She works with content. Oh, she's like a creator liaison. Okay, great. Perfect. Great. Also, Jeremy says, I did actually do stuff on the game. I wrote the V-Blood description and stuff. Oh, you wrote the V-Blood descriptions? You wrote all of these? Bro, there's like 90 of these. You are 100% a dev. Okay. Yeah, my God, man. No, that's direct development. That is like unquestionable direct development. Yeah, that's cool, man. Rats, that's badass. I've actually read like many of these. These are really cool. A lot of fun little lore in these. Whether or not the truth is to his claims, his head count is undeniable. What is that? Wait, what the hell was that? Oh, a banshee. Okay. Oh man, dude. Wow, we're getting to like the next tier of stuff. Oh Lord. Okay. Let's see. Oh, that's what schematics. Oh man, that's right. We just got the Stygian stuff at the end of the stream yesterday. I totally forgot. We've got like all sorts of new stuff to do now. Okay, so, oh, getting excited again. First of all, let me coordinate with my guy real quick. So, more tips in the VOD at 226. Switch over. 1 second. Oh Lord. Oh. Perfect. All right. Jamarky says, that's nice voice acting, Cohh. Some game dev should put your voice in your game. You know, I tried to do some voice work in games once, but they said just relax and use your real voice. And so when I started doing that, and I was like, they're coming from Alpha Centauri and they'll test all of us. They were like, you know what? Don't use your real voice. In fact, can you just do that stream voice that you do? And I was like, yeah, fine. I can't just be me, you know, I guess. One day. But yeah, so we'll do what we can. Void. We don't have Void yet. We do have this. But I think I want to keep the one I have with the elude thing. All right, so this is I've not even looked at this system yet. This is the new passive system. And now, okay. So we have to decide what we want to do. Oh, these take greater Stygian shards. Oh, wow. Okay. We're not really using that. This could be good. In fact, I think we're going to do this. I think we're going to do this one first. Now, wait a second. If I unlock another passive, I have to choose which one I'm going to use, right? I mean, I just don't get all the passives, right? The passives are active at all times. You don't have to pick. What the f? Are you serious? All of these are going to be active at the same time? Dude. That's I mean, so essentially when you unlock passives, you stop everything until you unlock every passive. Okay. Look in your spellbook. Yeah, I see these. Oh, so these are just going to be like the T1, T2, T3, like perma unlock positions. Oh, right there. There it is. Cool. Okay. All right. Very nice. I like it. I like it. It's a nice castle, Cohh. Thank you. Glad you like it. Okay. We need to get, let's see, this in here. I need to stop carrying my, I've been carrying my money around with me so often, but I need to stop that. I wish we could convert copper to silver or something. Oh wait, this goes somewhere, doesn't it? Yeah, here. All right, cool. We have 5 greater Stygian shards. 5. We did an entire ass event yesterday, and we got 5. I need 600 to unlock 1 of 6 tiers. And then I need 1,000 of those. Oh my Lord. Okay. All right. Oh, look at that. Oh, look, they got stuff. Hell yeah. Love stuff. All right, one second. You can convert copper to silver. Use the copper to purchase tools from the Farbane forest vendors and then break those tools down to get silver coins.
Nani?
Well. Okay. Huh. That puppy looks like a dot? He does. All right, we have to find a good spot for it. What about down there? There we go. Oh, we can also make a new bag. That's true. Oh! Here we go. Let's see. 2 more tips. Let's see. Few more tips at 10. Okay. Let's do a couple more tips while we're in the base. Hey guys. Some other great tips for V Rising, especially at the beginning. Keep in mind you're going to get some themed storage relatively early. These chests are incredible. They will automatically hold certain types of gear. You just have to open them with F, hit the E key to put the items in, and then hit F again to close. So if you get in the habit of doing that, you literally can just come to your base, F, E, F, E, F, E, F, E, F, E, F, E, and your inventory is essentially completely clean. It's a beautiful thing. Now, unfortunately, the game doesn't have craft from storage, but by having a little central hub, it really does help. So good tip to getting all of your stuff in one little place. That can really, really help out there. Also, another little tip for you. Keep in mind that this game, especially as a solo player, is very resource intensive. One of the first things you'll want to do as soon as you can, as you work through your main quest, is get servant coffins. Servant coffins allow you to send out people on missions. And once you unlock the servant coffin, you can use a dominate form to bring humans back. So when you run around the world, you will notice that very, very rarely you will see humans or enemies that have like a red blood cloud around them. That means that they have a very high % blood. And for those people, you will always want to capture them and make them servants if you're early game, or even late game if you need to fill in some gaps, or you want to put them in jail. But one of the reasons I recommend so much to rush the main story is the earlier you unlock servant coffins and jails, the earlier you can start collecting blood types and people to make like really good thralls and have really good blood types available. So make sure to rush that main quest, get these set up and down early, and then you can start collecting the best bloods in the game to make your game even that much more fun. Cool. What was another tip? We were going to do another tip in here. We did the resource stuff. Oh, here's another one. Here's another tip for you. Another great tip for early game resource usage, especially for solo players, is making sure to visit vendors regularly, which you can find in the northeast and northwest, and make sure to, by using the copper you're passively getting throughout the world, purchase flooring tiles. There are flooring tiles for almost all different types of buildings. If you go into the production, into your crafting, if you look at them here, you can see that little word right under the title, tailor, forge, jeweler's chamber. And if you put those items on top of the flooring that they require, the types of benefits they give you are incredibly palpable. So in this case, if you put an anvil on a forge floor, you reduce the cost of crafting by 1/4, which is a huge thing. Now, it's also important to mention that if you don't see this little green check here, you're not getting the bonus. So keep in mind, the flooring does not only need to be in its own, the material or the thing you're using not only has to be on the floor type that it needs, but it also has to be in a fully enclosed room. So if you look in here, for instance, this room looks open, but actually it's just a bunch of these doors right here that are all around the area without doors in them. So that way it looks open, but it's still sealed off and still gets the bonus. So you'll see here, you know, I have a forge room with the forge stuff in it. We go over to here, you know, we have a little tiny jeweler's area, and this is all you need at the beginning of the game. Like, until you've made your big build, just make like little 1x1s and 1x2s and just make sure that you're getting those really nice bonuses in the top right there. But yeah, that's a huge tip. Make sure your items are on the proper flooring, because some of these items, especially early game, are very difficult to get. You'll be getting like 1 or 2 out of random barrels. So if you can reduce the cost of something from 3 to 2 or 4 to 3, you know, that's the difference between crafting the item or not. So yeah, flooring, the earlier you get it, is very, very useful. Definitely do that. Okay. What are some other good early game tips, chat, that we can do real quick? Oh, here's another. Another great early game tip: as you get seeds, put down your farms as fast as possible. There is farming in this game. As you can see, I have a little garden on the inside of my castle, but you can, of course, have one on the outside. Farming is easy, it is intuitive, and it's very beneficial. So as you get seeds in the world, make sure that you are planting them and harvesting them regularly. And that way, when you start getting to the part of the game where you start making healing potions, strength potions, spell potions, you'll have all these resources built up that you can then dive into and go from there. Okay. Another great tip is to plan on doing kind of resource harvesting excursions. And what do I mean by that? So throughout many times in the game, you're going to need a whole bunch of one or two things. You might need iron, copper, sulfur, quartz, scourge stones, grave dust. The best thing you can do is get all ready to go at your base. If you do have a warp, great, use that. But then run down to the location and basically just break down or kill everything there and come back to base. Now, this sounds like an obvious thing, but the reason that I'm saying this as a tip is because there are locations in this game where you will only need to do that like once or twice and you'll be set. So for instance, do you need sulfur? Go to the bandit sulfur quarry. There's about 25 nodes there that you'll be able to get it. Do you need copper? That's great, because there's a copper mine right here. Again, if you go out in the world to harvest copper, it'll probably take you 3 hours to get the amount of copper you can get there in about 30 minutes. You need iron? Cool. We got this haunted iron mine right there. You need cotton? Great. We got cotton all through this area in this little cotton belt here. So the short of it is, if you ever need like one specific thing, 9 times out of 10, it will be available in a resource somewhere out here. Clear out your inventory, go out there, break down and clear everything in the area, truck it all home, and you'll be good to go. And there you go. Okay. Another great early game tip is merchants. It can be very difficult, especially as a solo player, to complete armor sets. Make sure you get your merciless tools, make sure you have the right forge flooring. As you do pretty much everything in this game, you'll start earning different amounts of currency, copper, silver, and then even more. There are merchants on the map in the early area that do not require anything except you walking up and hitting F on them. You don't need to be a human form, you don't have to, none of that. So these merchants have all the T1 possible blueprints rotating through their inventory. Check these guys constantly. So it's the kind of thing where if you're just chilling in your base and you need some resources, well, both of these have a warp right next to them. So if you got a few extra minutes, warp down, check this vendor, see if you can fill in any flooring gaps, then just warp right over to here, do the same thing. And then if you get something good, truck it back home and go from there. Great. Okay. I think that's enough tips. I don't want this video to be too long. I think we've given them enough to work with. So, yeah. Great. We're just going to keep playing now. Just the tips. Yeah. Hopefully that helps some of you. Okay, let's make a quick little mental laundry list of what we need to do. At the very bottom of that laundry list is kill bosses. We'll, of course, go and do that. Do we need to go and harvest anything? The only thing we need to do in terms of harvesting resources right now is this area. We need... Oh, they're up. Well, we're going to go over there. Let's go get some more Stygian shards and unlock some more passives.